In the NBA, the game can change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, you know DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets just for betting $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Jenkins, Jenkins. Jenkins. New customers can get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Jenkins. The crown is yours. Welcome to Jenkins and Jonez on the Volume Podcast Network. It is Tuesday, December 5th. We are coming to you a day later than we normally do. We have some travel stuff going on. John had to get to this hotel room where it looks like he has an 1850s vision of what a 1950s sub would look like on the painting behind him in this hotel room.
I told y'all, it feels like you could turn that and the ocean would fucking rush in behind me, bro. But it really is a watch. It's a watch, bro. It's an image of a watch. I don't know why it feels like tonight, but it feels like that shit right now. You feel
that shit is like look like the Game of Thrones openings. Fucking credits right there, though.
High key.
Yeah.
Well, if you're at youtube.com/@Jenkins and Jonez, you too can see what the hotel assigned.
What a professional, Mike. What a professional. Love
like
to see that.
As always, Jenkins and Jonez hosted by our wayward son, LeJethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John.
What's that, Bubbas?
Dragonfly Jones, a.k.a. Tyler.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Tyler's godson dropped what do you drop? 34 points yesterday?
My little cousin, he dropped
Your
34.
cousin, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, my little cousin dropped 34 in his AAU. He was out there getting buckets. He was killing.
Wait, hold up. You got a cousin dropping 34 of them things?
34 in AAU. He was killing, bro.
In a black Heat 4-5 jersey too, which I loved.
Yeah. Bro, after the game, he's like, man, I should have got 22. I'm out here looking like Jimmy Buckets. I was like, yeah. I was like, you got a point. And bro, and during the game, right, when he was out there just getting buckets, like I was sitting next to the family of like the best player on the other team. And they were like, getting on their son. They're like, meet him at half court, do something with him. And I was just talking.
Oh, meet
shit.
him at half court.
Yeah, he was going that crazy.
He was pulling from deep. Then.
Yeah, bro. They had like 61 points. He had 34 of them. Like they just a
wait. You gotta.
Were you talking crazy?
Just pulling up from the volleyball
were you talking
line.
Crazy to him? You were like, they can't do shit with him.
I was like 45 out there cooking. Y'all couldn't do something with him. Yeah, I was talking big shit, of course, man. Got to build the little ones up,
How old is he?
I love that.
17.
That's incredible,
that's my little
bro.
guy, man. Yeah, look, man.
Dribbling across half court, letting it fly. Crazy.
Yeah, like he invited me to the shit, and I rolled through. Look, I do not take it for granted when my little cousins and my godson and all that want to hang with my old ass because, dog, that's a blessing. Because when we were kids, I didn't want to hang with my fucking 40-year-old cousins. Are you kidding me?
Period.
Right? Like our 40-year-old cousins, they was the cousins coming to Thanksgiving in like turtlenecks and church slacks and shit, dog. Like they were not with our generation. You know what I'm saying? They were like the diet version of our parents. They were like the G League version of our parents. I was not rocking with them. So yeah, bro. Like anytime any of my younger family members ask me to kick it with them, I drop everything because that shit means a lot to me, dog.
What's weird is 40 and 20 are so different. Like as far as like we talk about the generations, how like it's not really there's like many different changes within each generation, more than before, but also not as different because like them drops, I'm competing with my little cousins if I want to get them shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like we like the same shoes, we talk about the same shit and talk about basketball in the same way. Yeah. You feel me? We're interested in generally the same music. Mm-hmm. We didn't run from the things that made us young like our parents did. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they got out of college, they picked the briefcase up, threw the sneakers out, put some hard bottoms on. We said, fuck that, fuck them ties, fuck that hard bottom. And what's a briefcase? We pull up to work in a backpack, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, crazy.
All right, I'm Gardy B, a.k.a. Mike, and
motherfucking Mike.
Motherfucking Mike. Motherfucking Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
Introduce you. We already started talking. That was crazy.
And we're produced, as always, by the lovely and talented Jackson Saffron.
What's up?
A couple programming, one programming note real quick. So this episode's out on Tuesday. We're recording it on Monday, actually right before the in-season tournament games happen. Catch the Thursday episode. We will have all the conversation about Monday and Tuesday's in-season tournament stuff. We're all very excited for those games. Nice to have basketball games with a little extra seasoning on them in December. I definitely appreciate that. And before we jump into the list today, I just wanted to say I know all three of us have seen a bunch of the Spotify rap things that go around. Stuff is very humbling every year. The numbers don't make any sense to me. For those of you who tagged us in the top 10, 5, 3, 1% stuff, I literally spent more time with y'all than I probably spent with my wife this year. That's it's like kind of
beautiful and damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. But I appreciate people. We all appreciate obviously everyone who listens to the show. Thank you so much. And the numbers, like I said, are kind of crazy when you see people are listening to us for 150, 200, 250 hours or whatever it is. That's I don't know. That's crazy. All right.
It's so funny because there's people who've been in my life for a long time that hadn't. I sent y'all the text where old girl was like, "Oh my God, like I'm so sorry I did." I'm like, bro, we don't promote that. I've been doing this shit since 2015, something like that. You know what I mean? And then there's people that I didn't know that I've been known for a while that I didn't know listen to the podcast as much. Like I would see that they were like in the top 5%. And I'm like, "You listen to the podcast?" She's like, "Yeah, I've been tapped in since 2016." I'm like, "Oh," so it's really interesting seeing who's tapped in and who didn't even know that I'm really cool with, didn't know I had a pod.
Bro. Yeah. I remember the first moment where I was like, yo, our podcast might have a little reach on it, was when SVP hit us up out the blue. He didn't hop in a conversation with us. He hit us up out the blue and talked about some shit we were talking about on the pod. That was wild.
And then when we asked him, "You listen?" He's like, "Of course." Yeah. I'm like, "Of course? You're SVP. Nigga, I am John Nichols." Ain't no of course about that. You know what I mean? The hell?
All right. I would guess if anyone is listening to today's show, the number one thing they're very excited to hear about is Bitchgate between Ime Udoka and LeBron James. Reportedly, obviously everyone's doing the leaked audio forensic science. That's the new basketball CSI that's going on. What's been spliced together is that Ime said, "Quit bitching," or may have suggested that LeBron James was acting like a bitch. Either way, we definitely have the audio of Bron coming over and say, "Don't be so loose with that bitch word." And then Ime definitely said, "Coming over here like you're going to do something, soft ass boy."
Yeah, got a scoring for the E-Master on that one, dog. He might have got the boot, but I think he won that one, bro. Let's go to the judges' cards. I mean, bro, we've seen that from Bron before. Like, Bron does not take lightly to being called a bitch, and I don't blame him for that, because for one, bro, like when you're fucking 6'8", 280 and motherfuckers are just talking reckless to you, like come on, like let's be for real. Like, we saw that shit, like basically, when he had that that shit with Draymond in the 2016 finals that swayed that whole series. Like, that was because Draymond called him a bitch. He's like, "Bro, I'm a family man, father of 3. Don't call me that." You know what I'm saying? And next thing he's got perhaps the heaviest fucking ring in finals history after that moment. So that's something Bron's been standing on. So I ain't mad at him, but I think Ime got him there, bro.
I mean, bro, like, you ain't gonna do nothing, and he did do nothing.
Little boy.
I mean, bro, that's a 10-7 round, nigga. That's a knockdown for sure. Yeah. He got him on off his feet with that shit. You feel what I'm saying? But crazy. But like Bron is our age. You know what I mean? It was an automatic fight being called a bitch back in the day. Like, you see people on video games now call each other bitches, and it's like, it's all cool. They see each other in real life and dabbing each other up like shit sweet. It was not like that back in the day. So I see Bron's I know he's playing basketball now, but he's also 20-some years in the game. He's almost 40 years old. 40-year-old man get called a bitch. I see why you feel some type of way about that. He is a family man. Yeah. He got kids watching, bro. You feel me? You got to stand on that.
Yeah, he didn't grow up in this social media age where everyone talks reckless to each other. He came up where if you said some wild shit to a motherfucker, you had to stand on it.
A fight came with that. Yeah. A fight came with that. Yeah, so.
Well, I think he also he's sort of the inverse of what we talked about with Will Smith when the stuff with he and Jada first sort of started like blowing up or whatever. It's like, what's the point of being Will Smith if the whole world knows other people are having sex with your wife? That's like LeBron never took the corporate route on his name. He's like, I can have all the money and stature in the world.
I'm not going to use that as a reason I have to listen to random people on the sideline call me a bitch. Like, you know what I mean? I respect the hell out of that. Now, Ime obviously is a different circumstance because he's actually dunked on that guy in an NBA game, which I find fucking hilarious.
You remember, was it with versus Golden State, I think, when he was walking to the tunnel and some girl said, LeBron, you're a bitch. He stopped dead in his fucking tracks. You remember that shit?
Right. I think, didn't he get her kicked out or something? He pointed her out or something like that, like security, get that one.
He pointed out Shorty who said some wild shit about Bronny, I think. But this was after the game and he was going to the tunnel and like someone said, LeBron, you're a bitch. He stopped dead in his fucking tracks and gave Shorty like the death stare.
Right.
And like you said, I mean, fuck basketball, fuck being a billionaire, fuck all other stuff. You're 6'8", 200, whatever. That you have the biological right to tell people that they're not allowed to call you a bitch.
And if you ain't and you want to stand on it, you can stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like your name is your name, folks. You know, you can't just be out calling folks bitches. I don't understand that.
So yeah, okay, I get what you're all saying. You score the card for Ime. To me, he's calling Braun. He's saying that with an NBA referee standing between the two of them. Like, I don't know, bro.
Man. I don't know. The look in Ime's eyes, dog. Like I saw that shit. Yeah, I saw that shit, and I was like, bro, is there history between these two? Because that wasn't just like a spur of the moment shit. It looked like, right? It looked like that. Like Ime might have had some years of disdain with him, and shouts to the homie B-Ball Breakdown because he like went and found like so many clips of Ime and Braun matching up because Braun is old enough to have played against Ime during his NBA days, and it was like, bro, Braun used to hunt Ime. Like that dude was food whenever Braun saw him, on the other side of things. So yeah, it might be a little bit of animosity from Ime from how Braun used to cook his ass, but yeah, it felt like some deep seated shit there.
I mean, you saw the way he looked from his sneakers to his bald spot. Like, I mean, he really looked him up and down, like before he called him a soft ass boy.
What made him been through the fire?
Yeah, I was gonna say he made him been through the fire, bro. He lost Neil Long. What you gonna tell that man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he
don't give a fuck about nothing.
He was coaching a championship contender, and he lost that and lost Neil Long and had to go to Houston and coach Dylan Brooks. That man has seen some things, bro. Like I don't think he's scared of Braun. You know what I'm saying?
What tripped me out was how calm he was. I didn't know he was talking the type of shit he was talking based on how he looked. He said he called LeBron James a bitch with the calmest of, dispositions, bro. Like he wasn't worried about nothing LeBron had for him now or forevermore. You feel me? Like he was Gucci with whatever was coming out his mouth.
Called the oldest man in the league a little boy. That's like and you played against that man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's wild.
That man was averaging 33 against you. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, not just that, but it's like first of all, he's only 6 years older than Braun, and his last year in the league, which was 12 years ago, he averaged 0.7 points, 0.9 rebounds, and 0.6 assists per game. Like, I bet he hates LeBron James, bro. I'd hate his ass too. Anyway, let's talk a little NFL football. We actually had kind of a similar situation, just in that. Here's what I would say. This has become like a real thing in Southern California and like high school sports and college sports too. Like coaches talking more shit to players, and I feel like we see it in the pros too. I personally just genuinely don't like it. Like I think there's a separation between players at every level and then everyone else, support staff, whether that's coaches, trainers, whatever. So to me, like anytime I see a coach talking actual shit to a player, like you're calling someone a bitch or whatever, that's corny to me, bro. Like you left that behind, man. You know what I mean? Like you're a coach now. You don't like you're not gonna go out there and do anything to LeBron James. Your Achilles are gonna explode like a supernova if you try and step between the lines. Like, so I don't know. That's my thought. It does carry over into the NFL topic I want to talk about, which is I am a big Niners fan. It's a huge game between the Niners and the Eagles. Great game on Sunday. I thoroughly enjoyed it, at least. But there was a crazy moment where this Italian meatball named Dom, who is the head of security for the Eagles, there's a little sideline skirmish. He pushes one of the 49ers linebackers, and then the 49er linebacker, boops him on the nose, to use Mina Kimes' terminology. I thought was perfect. And, I had all these Eagles fans in my mentions like, no, he's doing his job. He's protecting them. That's not his job. It's not the job of support staff on the sideline to put their hands on professional athletes, bro. I don't know, man. This shit's crazy, but this dude acted so reckless. He made me really I don't think I've ever been angry at an Italian person that I wasn't related to ever in my life. I was pissed off, bro. He got that player kicked out for essentially like reaching back out at a random guy on the sideline who touched him. Like, that's crazy to me.
And that's so wild because like one of the things that I love about the NFL, about football, is that is a sport where you will always be held accountable. You know, going back to, you know, kind of the Ime Brown shit talking thing, you will be held accountable for the shit you're saying, for the shit you do there. Like, fights ain't shit in the NFL. Like, no one gives a fuck. You won't even get ejected for punching a motherfucker in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I feel like he kind of violated some shit there because he knew that like the staff are like the only sacred people in an NFL game who cannot get hands put on them by players, right? So yeah, I do think that he crossed the line there. Like, bro, like we was talking in the group chat the other day about, you know, how much we love Trent Williams. After a playoff game, Trent Williams went up to Richard Sherman with his helmet off, punched him in his jaw. No one cared. No one cared, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like I feel like he knew what he was doing. He violated the code, like I said, because, you know, football is something where, you know, fights ain't shit, but staff is like they're the only sacred cows in that shit that you can't touch, and he knew that.
Right. Yeah, for sure. He's got the NFL is you know, apparently going to take action. It might have already come out, but they're going to take some kind of action against him and the Eagles. And he actually had me so mad, Tyler. I'm rooting for the NFL to punish an Italian meatball who sewed an Italian American patch onto his Eagles jacket. That's how Italian this dude is.
It's time for Goodell to get on the job.
Yeah, he's got me sitting over here like, kick him out of the game. He shouldn't be allowed on an NFL sideline anymore.
Got my boy looking like Rob Lowe when he wore the NFL hat and shit. Like. Like, where are the enforcers of the rules and the rule book? Section 83.2 says. Yeah. But yeah, he was wilding, bro.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. All right, let's talk college football because Tyler has a hot take theory that I feel like will probably a lot of people be really angry about, but I think it's got merit. We have the 4 teams announced for the college football playoff, which, pardon me if I'm fucking this up, Michigan, Alabama, Texas, and Washington. Yes, Washington. Thank you. Which is who runs across Tyler's theory. A lot of Florida State fans very understandably upset that a 13-0 power conference team does not get into the playoffs. I count me as one of the people who thought that was why we went to 4 teams, was so that 13-0 teams didn't miss out on a chance to play for a national championship. So I know they're going to expand it, which will take care of some of this. But Tyler says no matter how many teams are allowed into the college football playoffs, he does not want to see anyone that is not from the South. And I want to hear more about it, Tyler.
Yeah. Basically, bro, I said my pick, you know, for the playoff, my 4 teams would have been Florida State, Bama, Georgia, and Texas. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, those were all teams that were in the mix. Georgia and Florida State didn't make the cut. You know, Michigan and Washington made the cut as the only non-Southern teams. And I'm like, dog, like, why are we lying to ourselves? You know what I'm saying? We do this shit every year, and every year a fucking Southern team wins the championship. Like, since the 2004 season when USC won the championship, there have been 18 champions, and there has been one champion that wasn't from the South, the 2014 Ohio State Buckeyes. Like, let's be for real here, bro. And like I said, I am not a college football fanatic. You can, you know, throw out your strength of schedule, your you know, merits of you know, stronger wins. I don't give a fuck about that. All I know is that these motherfucking Southern boys will come out there every year and they beat the shit out these little Pacific Northwestern kids or some Midwestern kids. You know what I'm saying? Every fucking year without fail. So why are we even lying to ourselves and playing this game?
I can't really fault the logic. And I saw someone responded to you and said, is it non-Southern teams have won 3 games in the college football playoff era, and only one of them was not won by Ohio State or something?
Yeah. Oregon won 2, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just, bro, like, listen, man, those fucking Florida boys who out there catching rabbits in the mud, you know what I'm saying? Like, dog, don't invite like fucking, you know, those Notre Dame Midwestern church boys out there against those motherfuckers. It's gonna get ugly, dog. And
somebody put up the score of last year's championship saying like, this is why you don't invite who deserves there and who, you know what I'm saying, who deserves to be there and who's the best instead. You know what I mean? Because TCU got their ass cooked last year. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, somebody pointed that out. But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I know they won a game in order to get there, but point is, bring some country motherfuckers in that's gonna make a good game. You feel me?
Yeah.
At minimum.
For real.
All
If you ain't rolling out some teams full of motherfuckers who eat grits with their bare hands, you don't have a chance in the college football playoff, dog. Flat out.
If your linemen don't wear boots with blood on them from hunting, nigga, bro.
Yeah, like, hang it up.
Take
dog.
your ass home, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hang it up, and you ain't got a chance. You feel me?
Okay, last NFL topic, and we got one other NBA thing to talk about. Aaron Rodgers was allegedly coming back and now is not allegedly coming back from his Achilles injury this season. I'm so tired of talking about Aaron Rodgers. And here we are doing it again, but I just like, you had an Achilles tear. I don't really understand the value of head faking like he was coming out. Was that just to say he's smarter than doctors, or like, Tyler, what's your psychoanalysis?
Yeah. Listen, bro. Like people were, bro. Like, you know, when I found out that news, I was like, conventional medical wisdom wins again. 2-0 versus Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people were like, oh, well, maybe the Jets just suck, bro. Listen, Aaron Rodgers is the most self-righteous, self-serving motherfucker out there. If you think that motherfucker wouldn't have suited up for a meaningless Week 18 game just to show that he was smarter than medical professionals, you do not have a good understanding on who that dude is. Like someone has said to me, bro, Aaron Rodgers doesn't play for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers plays for Aaron Rodgers. And that's like the best way to just sum that shit up.
Yeah.
I low-key fuck with that, though. I think if I was playing football, I'm playing for me, not with him and his approach. But that specifically sounds more appealing. You know what I mean? Personally. But yeah, man.
I know Aaron Rodgers is such a nerd. Like you know, someone like, you know, Deion Sanders saying that shit would sound cool back in the 90s. But
I'm saying taking the man away and just hearing the words. Yeah. I fuck with that. Yeah. Associated with Aaron Rodgers, it sounds weak as hell. You feel what I'm saying?
Like y'all remember when someone asked Ricky Waters why he ducked off a pass in the game that they were losing, and a reporter asked him why he ducked off a pass where he was going to get lit the fuck up, and he knew it. He ducked it off, and someone asked him why he ducked off, and he said, for who? For what? What am I catch that for? and I fucked with that as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I get it, bro.
But it came from Ricky Waters. You know what I mean?
Ricky Waters is a bad motherfucker.
All right. We have had shout out to the faithful and few diehard fans of the Detroit Pistons who are Jenkins and Jonez listeners. We have seen your requests to discuss the Detroit Pistons on Jenkins and Jonez. They have been the topic that got cut like 4 or 5 episodes in a row. And somehow they have continued to lose basketball games exclusively during those 2 weeks. They're now 2-18 on the season. They are truly looking like they're going to end up in the running for some bad history. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the compilation mashup clips people have been tweeting about some of the turnovers they've had.
It's nasty. It's worse than the Wizards?
You talking about, because the Wizards, yes, worse than the Wizards. There was one where it was like...
The Wizards spanked them by like 15, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're that bad, bro.
Like, it was I watched the entire game, the Lakers against the Pistons, and I will say that I was shocked by what the Lakers bench players were able to do to the Pistons.
Jesus.
But, John, there was a clip when it was just like 2 guards up top, lazy pass across the top of the arc. Like jogging steal run out dunk. I mean, just like, what are you doing, bro?
Are y'all even professionals? You know what I mean? Like crazy.
Yeah, tough, really, really tough shit. But I want to read this because I think it reaches the level of performance art. Worldwide Wob took the text from each one of the Pistons graphics. They did not win a single game in November, and he took the text from all of the graphics that the team tweeted out over the course of November. November 1st. We're going to keep fighting. November 5th, back at it tomorrow. November 6th, battled through 4. November 8th, all of it is motivation. November 10th, back at it Sunday. November 12th, final. November 14th, fought until the end. November 17th, ellipses. November 19th, nothing. November 20th.
Hold on. Was the November 17th the Wizards lost the ellipses one? Was that your
I think it was the Wizards.
Okay. It was not. It was. I have their schedule up. It was against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The one where they tweeted nothing. The next game they lost by
November
30
20th. Back at it Friday. November 24th. Final. November 27th. Final. November 29th. Nothing. November 30th. Final. From New York.
What's crazy about this too is on Wednesday, They host the Memphis Grizzlies, who are also terrible. Huge game. Because winnable game for the Pistons. Because if they lose to the Grizzlies, their following games are at Orlando, Indiana, Philadelphia, at Milwaukee. They're not going to win until the new year if they don't beat the Grizzlies.
It's funny that you call that a huge game.
Huge game.
2 terrible players.
Huge game.
Huge game. Huge game.
Absolutely massive game.
That was really sad. When I saw that tweet, right? You reading it out loud? Like, it was kind of like when your homie, like, break up with his girl and they realize she don't fuck with him no more. Like, and it's slow, like, oh, I'm going to work it out. And it kind of get to the point where, like, damn, she ain't coming back home. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of feel like, that ain't funny. I'm not trying to make that funny, no.
No, but
it
it reads like T.S. Eliot or something.
Like,
yes.
Yeah, you realizing, damn, bro, like, we really trash, bro. Like, the season's over with, and it's December. You know what I mean? I mean, those tweets were in November, but yeah.
Not even Thanksgiving, the season's over with.
Man,
Yeah.
not a chance, bro.
Bro, they gotta allow Piston fans to storm the court if they break this streak with a home win. They gotta allow it. I know that doesn't happen in the NBA, but we gotta make an exception here. It hasn't happened since like the Larry Bird Celtics won that championship. You know what I'm saying? But if the Pistons break that streak at home, they gotta let the fans rush the floor, bro. Got to. I know there's a bad history with Piston fans rushing the floor. You know, go back to the Malice and the Palace shit. But we might have to make it, an amendment here.
That's so ridiculous. I think that can balance out the Malice in the Palace. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I feel like, dude, let them do that. They have been extremely bad. Let them have some joy. There's going to be no other joy in this season outside of that. Let them have some joy. If they squeak out a win, rush the court, that is hilarious.
It's very college sports core. All of their players are like 20 years old anyways. Just lift Cade Cunningham up on your shoulders like he's in college. He's still at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
What's crazy is, like, you talk about how young they are. They've been trusting the process for hellas, and the process ain't did shit for them, bro. You feel me? Let them get something, bro. Let them rush the damn court. They get a W. It's wild out there for a Pistons fan. Crazy. And if you're still a Pistons fan after all this, bro, you deserve something. You deserve something, at least one thing. You know, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell.
If you're a Pistons fan who we know, shoot us a message. I'm curious about the mentality at this point. It's
Maybe
tough.
throw him on the pod. Let's interview him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's like, what's
10 minutes. You ain't got to stay with us the whole time. We just
what's making you tick?
We have some questions for you, brother.
One of the Pistons writer, I think it might have been Duncan Smith, said, and this was a great point. They said they've gotten so bad that they've lost the ability to get an off night from someone because no one wants to be the team that loses to them now. So like the Grizzlies, like the Grizzlies, some of those really teams, you might kind of like catch somebody where it's like, okay, Grizzlies first night of a back-to-back or something. No one's going to take it easy on the Pistons right now because you're expected to beat them comfortably. No one wants to lose to the Pistons at home. You know what I mean? Like they're going to get everyone's best shot, bro.
Yeah. Lose to potentially one of the worst teams in the history of basketball based on what's going on. They have that potential, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, of course. So I'm a cook the fuck out their ass, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, that's a great point.
That's sad though, but it is. It's like if you look at it, right? Like who did they beat? They beat the Thunder, and that's it, right?
Wild.
No, they beat the Bulls and the Thunder or something. I mean, like, but
they smacked. Did they not smack the Bulls up?
They lost their first game of the season to the Heat by 1 point, and then won 2 straight games. They were over 500. They were 2-1, and now are 2-18.
Jeez.
Life come at you fast, man. Enjoy the ups, Bubba, because you never know.
yeah.
Looking like non-Southern college football programs in that playoff right now, dog.
Crazy.
All right. We had a question we were turning over in the group chat, and I'm opening it up to people here, yes, but also anyone who wants to tweet ideas at us. Why do artistic people wear fancy hats?
And it's not just it's always in between fancy, but also weird. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, bro, do you think you can't be an artist without wearing a goofy ass hat? It's just so consistent. Like, you can't call yourself an artist if you ain't got a fedora in the closet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a hat nigga. I love hats, but like, I'm sticking with this. But like, it's really weird. We was talking about one of your art homies. And I was like, why he got these big ass elaborate ass hats? Like, and he's a real one.
Who shall remain nameless, yes.
Yeah, I'm finna say. I thought you were finna say shout out. I'm like, don't do it, Mike. Why would you do that? Yeah, but it's so consistent.
We started out talking about John Batiste, right? And then we were bringing other people's hats into it.
And then you said I was a fancy art friend having ass nigga. And I'm like, bro, I don't like them weirdos, man. I like regular art niggas, bro. You feel me? You don't
that line is blurrier from over here than it is to
you. Adrian is my best friend, dog. That's the art nigga I fuck with, bro. Yes. That is bro. He's putting stickers on cops' backs, nigga, while they are arresting people.
The realest shit I ever
These are the art niggas I fuck with, bro. I'm stamped, my boy. Come on, G. Fuck you, man.
Do you think it's that the artistic brain, is it like a peacock feather thing? The brain is like, I'm gonna trick this person into putting something fancy directly on top of me, the brain.
I don't know.
I don't know,
but it's so consistent.
It's very consistent. I've spent too much time thinking about it since we had that text message conversation. Okay, last topic before we get to Dookie Butt.
Have you turned the corner on John Batiste?
I'm a huge fan of John Batiste as a musician.
Okay. Right.
And I stand by my other judgments of him.
We don't want that same crew on our ass. We already hot in the streets, man. We gonna move on. Yeah. Jackson over there shaking his head like, nah, we ain't going. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. We already hot out here. We can't press it.
All right. Before we get to Dookie Butt of the Week, let's talk about historic figure, former United States Congressman George Santos, friend of the pod.
Wow.
No. He is not our people.
Why did you say that? Why did you say that?
I just always
feel like Funkmaster Flex when Tyler was talking about why did you say that? Why did you go there?
What made you go with that bar?
Bro, I'm so glad that he went with that bar. Thank God. That was hilarious. But that's how I felt when you just said that.
Within a week of being kicked out of Congress, he is now, I don't know if you saw this as of today, he is doing $150 cameos for people where he will say literally anything that you want. And I guess he's got to pay for the legal bills soon since what was one of the charges? Was aggravated fraud or something like we'd never even heard of before.
That's what
they just threw. I don't think it existed prior. I think they just wanted to throw some sauce on fraud because what he did was so, you know what I mean?
Right.
Elaborate and egregious. We got those aggravated on that motherfucker. You feel me?
But what's crazy, and this is what Tyler and I were talking about on Twitter. It's like somehow he's only the 6th U.S. congressman in the history of the country to actually be not resign, but to actually be forced out. And half of those 6 were members of the Confederacy. It's really remarkable. Like one thing they can all agree on is that they're okay with what they're all doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And how many members are there in the House? Like 206 or some shit? Like,
yes,
bro. Like, dog. It's been so many motherfuckers who have been there, and only 3 of them got kicked out for repetitive, fucking corruption and shit. That's wild. That is an incredibly terribly elite class to be in.
But I mean, bro, what he was doing, he was generational with it. We ain't never seen a nigga like him before in our lives, let alone, you know what I'm saying, in the government. That dude was different. So, yeah, it makes sense.
That's what I think. That's where I think he actually got Republicans and Democrats mad at him is it's like, you're going to ruin the grift for the rest of us. Like,
yeah.
He made a mockery of the whole shit. He made a mockery of the whole shit.
It can't publicly come out that you're spending donations to your campaign on OnlyFans. Like that can't publicly. We're all doing it, but it can't publicly come out. Oh shit! All right, let's do our Dookie Butt of the Week. Jackson, why don't you kick us off?
My Dookie Butt of the Week is just the whole concept of moving apartments or moving homes. I'm in the midst of that right now. A nightmare, just a nightmare. And it's shocking to me that there's no innovations in the space outside of just being like having money to pay for movers, I suppose.
Innovations in the space?
Like it's 2023. Why do I have to like go to like a U-Haul site on like at this random fucking like bodega to like pick up a U-Haul on Saturday? And like it's insane that moving is so hard in 2023 when we've found modern conveniences for everything. I don't know.
Did you feel like he was being pretentious? Like what made you get so caught up in that statement?
It's such a Jackson way to complain
Just
about
makes me
moving being
mad,
hard.
bro.
There's no innovations in the space. What would the
That's how I feel
innovations
about
be,
condoms.
dog? You own
That's how I
shit.
feel about condoms. I'm like, bro, y'all really just got motherfuckers putting balloons on it? Well, I mean, bro, you got motherfuckers man on the moon. You got a nigga putting a balloon on his dick to prevent from having a child. It's crazy. So I'm with Jackson on this one. I get it.
Thank you.
There's spaces where there should be innovations and there aren't.
You would think. You would think.
You would think. You know what I mean?
But it's all right. I'll be fine. I appreciate the concern, Mike. I'll be fine.
I think the thing about moving is that any innovations in the space would basically just involve some form of like really poorly paid labor, right? I mean, like what would the innovations? The challenge is still moving a bunch
I'm not
of
the
shit.
ideas man. I'm just telling you there's a problem that needs to be solved.
He's just,
okay?
hey, there's a problem that need to be solved. He ain't got the answer.
I don't have
you
the
know
answer.
what I mean?
Okay.
But there's a problem for sure.
And that's
moving is
yeah.
trash. Moving shouldn't be as trash. I get it.
Well, Jackson, how old are you again?
I'm 27.
You got another 4 or 5 years of moving life left in you too, bro.
Oh.
Wait. Okay, are you at the age? Okay, since you're much further than I was at 27. You know what I'm saying? I was still like, hey, brother, you know, I'll buy you we'll get pizza.
I'll get
if
a
you help
pizza
me
at the
move,
end
you know
of
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Are you
doing.
at that age?
I'm
Okay,
absolutely
okay.
doing that.
I know, because I mean,
I got a
you
lot of
make
beers
the
in my
type of
fridge
money
from,
that
like, the thing.
that could pay for movers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just
Yeah,
still did
that is
yeah.
true. But also, I live here. You know, I don't want to talk about what my rent has been for the last 15 months. You know, I
get that too.
I
Great
just have
point.
I have a few friends here, some able-bodied 27-year-olds who are gonna help me out. You know, and they're gonna be repaid handsomely in Corona Lights.
Call him
This
in
man
3 years.
talks about 27-year-olds and he's not that age. Like
Yeah,
he still he talks about his friends like an old man. Some able-bodied 27-year-olds. Bro, what are you? What do you consider yourself?
An able-bodied, but there's only one of me.
That's true.
My girlfriend's 5 feet tall. She's not. I mean, much love.
You ain't gonna throw it on the end of that couch. You know what I'm saying? Hey, earn your keep, baby.
We're not moving the couch
Use your
together.
legs. Use your legs, not your back.
She can box the silverware up and shit. You know, I'm sure she'll make it.
She's helping dramatically, but she's not exactly moving the couch. You know, I need.
I respect it.
She's making sure your Fight Club poster is straight when you put it up on the wall. And everything. That's what she's doing. When we bought, Shar and I bought our house when we were 32 or 33, and when we moved the last box into it, I looked at her and was like, "We're dying here." Like it was literally, I was like, "We're not moving." Like if they have to make us move into a nursing home or something, cool, but I'm not carrying anything. And we did also decide when we moved into the house that if we could afford to buy a house in Long Beach, we could also afford movers. And I will say that the innovation in the space, Jackson, is disposable income. That is the innovation.
I realize I know that that's the answer. I do know that that's the answer, and I like probably have the income
that
to do
feels
so.
classist too, though. The innovation of the space is don't be a broke boy. Like that's what you like.
That's hey man. Hey, as we
not a
move
broke
into
boy.
our later 30s and 40s, is that not the innovation in all spaces? Is you know what? Boy, this whole
game
world
out
is
here.
really designed to be lived by
Be
people
better at
with money.
capitalism is the innovation in the space.
That's it, man. I mean, not
Right.
shout out.
Gotta participate better. You feel me?
Traveling's a lot more fun when you can afford to do shit. You know,
When you're a capitalist, but go ahead.
not renting that fucking Ford Fiesta anymore. You know, I rent a car that the doors actually open. It's a lot more
You
enjoyable.
are telling the truth. You are telling the truth. Me and my Ford Taurus, that was not enjoyable. Wondering if you're gonna make it to the spot you were traveling to,
Right.
Because the car could potentially break down on the way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It does get better.
Tyler, who's your Dookie Butt of the week?
I'm going with Ryan Shazier. Have y'all been keeping up with that shit?
Yes, bro.
I'm not familiar. What's
Okay, Ryan Shazier, former NFL player, paralyzed himself with a nasty tackle he tried to make some years back.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he wound up walking again. Like, and it was a beautiful heart moving story, right? Like his fiance was sticking by his side during all of it. And he was like, you know, his goal was to be able to walk again so he could dance with her at their wedding. And he did. And it was just a beautiful fucking story. And this man's out here wilding, like cheating on Shorty. And she posted some shit to her Instagram. Because you know she was like, this is what happens when idiots who cheat on you don't log out of their Apple ID and you've got the iPad that they're logged in on, and she saw like all the texts and shit. And this motherfucker, bro, he is a wild motherfucker. Like he was sending Shorty like books. Hold on, I gotta read the titles of these books.
Hey, please, man, run it, because you got me extremely interested.
No, I'm telling you, I have to read the exact titles of these books because I do not want to.
Do you have it up? I got it up. I got it up.
Okay, read them.
The 2 books he sent back to back, and this was after a I like you a lot, LOL, is what she said. He sent The Ultimate Guide to Anal Sex for Women, 2nd edition.
2nd edition.
And he sent blow by blow.
The first one wasn't enough.
He sent blow by blow, a step-by-step guide on how to give blowjobs so explosive that he will be willing to do anything for you.
So explosive. Explosive blowjobs.
Tyler, an aspect of this story that is very underrated is people are acting like he sent her the books. He actually just sent her the links to the Barnes & Noble page to buy the books for herself.
Yes. Like spend your money on these weird, wild-ass books so you can, help me, cheat on my wife in a more enjoyable way for me. Like, just a wild motherfucker, dog.
I have some jokes I'm going to keep to myself.
No, don't keep them.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Jackson, no. No. No.
The Ultimate Guide came out in 1997 too. They haven't needed an update since the 2nd edition.
Bro, the late 90s were like a very horny era where they were trying to like how do you say like scholarize the horniness of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you mean?
Like you would get like, I'm pretty sure the person that wrote that 1997 Guide to Anals probably has like a PhD from Stanford or some shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's just how shit went in the late 90s.
Anal sex?
Bro, it was a very weird time where people were intellectualizing. I guess
she lectures at top colleges and universities, including Yale, Cornell, Princeton, Brown, Harvard, Columbia, Smith, Johns Hopkins, and UCLA, where she speaks on gay and lesbian issues, sexuality and gender, and feminism. She teaches sex and relationship workshops around the world.
There's like sex therapists that are really successful doing what they do currently, right? Like there's people that will counsel like couples on sex. Right? I don't think nothing's wrong with that. You know what I mean? Luckily, I ain't never needed it, but you feel me? Like, but to those who have, it's available, and there's no judgment here.
In the 90s, it was super fucking mainstream, though. Like Dr. Ruth was a household name, you know what I'm saying? It's just different.
Also, they had like Real Sex on HBO, which like breaking
Real
down
Sex,
different
fucking
sexuality.
Love Line on MTV.
Yeah.
All right, John, your Dookie Butt of the week.
Did y'all see that tweet about homie that he was like, my girlfriend? I'm just gonna tell the tweet. So anyway, this dude was talking about his ladies. My girlfriend said, "Is there basketball on?" Then put on the game and walked away. 2 hours later, I'm like, what is she doing? She's napping. She turned it on to keep me occupied like a toddler. Bro, you the Dookie Butt of the year if you ain't married that woman. You feel me? That is beautiful, bro. You know what I'm saying? Made sure you were taken care of. Leave me alone. Need my little space. And you got bro. Why are you on Twitter complaining about that? You know what I mean? I love that. That's beautiful. She could have just said, "Leave me the fuck alone," but she made sure you were straight. You got your free time. She got her free time. She's doing her thing. Love that, bro. Lean into that, man. That's important.
It's like when I leave the crib and I like leave the TV on, for my cat and shit, so shit ain't too quiet for her. Like only he's like a grown ass man.
Oh, he's a grown ass man. That's the meaning.
Here's what
I thought it was sweet. I didn't think it to me.
No, it's hilarious.
He turned it into a toddler.
I really do think it's sweet because I do think that all good relationships need space and there needs to be a healthy respect for what your loved one likes, and that was a perfect example of that for sure.
Right, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, rather she doing a bunch of nerd shit all day throughout the day, and then she watches the dumbest shows possible. And she needs that space to do that. You feel me? So I'll come in there with her, and then I'll have my computer on watching what I want to watch and let her watch that because she needs that for herself. I think that's considerate. So, like, he on here complaining about the shit. You feel me? And I'm like, bro, she ain't treat you like a toddler. She treat you like a motherfucker like, yo, she needs to do things for herself. You need to do things for yours as well. And she's giving you the space to do that. That's how I read it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's beautiful. That's healthy.
It's like that episode of King of the Hill when Bobby and his girlfriend got a hotel room and they just laid on their separate beds and held hands like across the bed and shit.
Yeah,
you ever see that?
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, that is for most nights. Cause like I'm not watching like y'all fuck with Love Island. I'm not watching Love Island. It just don't interest me. You feel me?
Oh, no, I don't fuck with Love
so,
Island. I fuck with Love Is Blind, but
okay, yeah. So like, rather watches all of it. You know what I mean? Because she just needs something to get her away from all the other shit, and I completely understand it. You feel me? And so like, I'm not gonna watch it though. But so basically, we're in the room. Her leg is resting on my leg. You know what I mean? So we touching, and I'm doing something totally different in a whole other world. You know what I mean? To me, that's like, yo, let's connect. Baby's down. We don't have to talk and do all this extra shit because you need some time for yourself and I need some time for myself. But yo, I still love you. That's what that feels like to me.
There's a word for this. Do you know what that's called, John?
What's called?
It's called parallel play.
Oh, wow.
Two like people are in a relationship or friends or kids or whatever, but like
is that a child development concept?
Doing their own
Parallel
thing,
play?
like but in the presence of each other is exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's like at times, like for sure, we have times that we'll watch. Like they're like for friends, we're watching terrible Christmas movies on Netflix. That's our thing right now. We want to watch the worst movie possible. You know what I'm saying? So bad that it's good. Like we don't, you know what I mean? Like that type of shit right now.
Netflix has a new one coming out that looks terrible.
They got they got a banger with old boy where like his mom died and he goes back to clean the mom's house. She's a hoarder. He cleans up her house and then falls in like anyway, it's horrible, and we loved it. And that's the shit we're on right now. And so we'll do that together. And then also, I'll be doing my little goofy, creative shit, and she'll be watching these shows. And then, but we'll be in the room together. Like I think it's important to switch it up like that.
The only other note I wanted to make about the tweet that you read is that that was not a man talking about his girlfriend. It was a woman talking about her girlfriend.
No.
Which
Oh,
I
is it a
feel,
woman?
yes, which I feel like makes it an even sweeter scene of just like tucking your girlfriend in to watch basketball so
That's
you can go
precious.
take a nap. Yeah, for sure.
Now I feel like I should shut up and mind my business.
I did have a friend. I did have a friend send me your tweet.
Business. I don't know. You feel me?
I did have a friend send me your tweet and said, do you think John realizes this is a lesbian couple? And I was like, John did not realize that was a lesbian couple.
No, I didn't
He
even.
wouldn't have
I
said
looked at it. The
Playboy
name is
in that
Brittany.
word.
That makes a lot of sense. I just read the tweet. I read the tweet, and then that's it. No, I did not realize that. Nobody
right.
said anything in the comments either, though, which is
Everybody
interesting.
loves you, John. No one wants to, go
There
on
are
Twitter and-
667 people that interacted with this shit, and nobody's brought up the fact that her name was Brittany, and I put, she's dead. Oh, I didn't even say here. That's why
You
I
said-
just said
yeah,
there's
you
no.
just said
yeah,
Playboy.
I said if
Which
she's
is
down,
which
go ahead
Play-
and marry that one Playboy.
Which
Yeah,
Playboy is like
I said
gender
Playboy,
neutral.
which is a
Playboy is a
Homie-
gender neutral
Playboy
term.
gender
Yeah.
neutral.
For
Playboy
sure.
gender neutral.
Yeah.
You can say Playboy as in
I
like,
said Playboy to Sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like in this situation, it feels like I'm thinking that's a man. You know what I
Knowing
mean?
you, I knew that you thought that was a man. But if I just came
Yeah.
across that tweet, I would think that that's funny, and it would not occur to me. Like you said, like it's gender neutral enough. It wouldn't have occurred to me that you thought it was a man.
Yeah.
That's how I would
Yeah.
read it.
Maybe
All
I
right.
should read all the words on tweets prior to commenting rather than just some of them.
Hey, you got away with
It's
it.
not as fun that way.
You got away with it. You know.
You're telling Twitter
Yeah,
user
right.
harm,
Just
you know?
lead it
Don't
to
finish
it.
the
Yeah.
message and
Yeah.
just-
Right. That's my. I'm getting out of my brand. You know what I mean?
All right. I got a two-part Dookie Butt of the week. The first one we don't really need to discuss, but Henry Kissinger, Dookie Butt of the century. Did someone actually tweeted us a picture of Henry Kissinger eating his own boogers during a radio address? Also, did y'all see that?
No,
Yep.
I didn't.
So he
That's
would have
crazy.
qualified
Part of the Jim Boheim coaching tree right there.
Oh, there's a lot of funny jokes to be made there that are also not appropriate. And then my other one I feel like he's someone's Dookie Butt of the week almost every week, but I just have to talk briefly about Elon Musk. Did y'all see the clips of the interview that he did in that New York Times tech summit thing where he was up on stage and they're asking him about, hey man, like I thought actually the reporter asking really insightful questions of like, hey, you're trying to balance this thing where you're like, he thinks he's like William Randolph Hearst in 1915 or something. Like he thinks he's like this big, powerful media guy, except that his vitriolic opinions, and he like, they lost a lot of advertisers because he was ascribing to some like very dangerously anti-Semitic conspiracy theories that he was replying to, like, finally someone says the truth or something. You're not William Randolph Hearst, and all of your advertisers, including like Disney and Apple, are like fleeing the company. So this interviewer is just asking him like, yeah, I mean, how are you balancing that? Like your CEO is sitting right here. She has to sell advertisements. And his response was to say to Bob Iger and Disney, go fuck yourself, and suggest that they were trying to censor him through removing the money, which first of all, I understand how he as a crazy person could think that. I have a small business. I also would not advertise it with anti-Semitic views. So I understand where Disney's coming from. But I just really don't know what his end game is here. And I actually watched like longer chunks of the interview because I was just trying to get something out of where this dude's head is at. And it's just being exposed to the internet just completely rots the center of your brain out. Like there's just no other way to put it. It's like there's just like when you see the videos of what a cavity looks like, that's what his brain looks like from how much time he's spending on Twitter, bro. It's crazy.
Dude, the best clip of the interview was when he goes, I'm only even doing this interview because I'm really good friends with you, Jonathan. And the interview just goes, I'm Andrew, but that's okay.
No fucking way. I didn't see that.
Swear to God. He literally was like, yeah, the only reason I'm even sitting down for this is because me and Jonathan go way back. And he goes, I'm Andrew, but it's fine.
Holy shit, I need to see that. What killed me was that little weak-ass leather jacket. He wore that Launchpad McQuack-ass leather jacket. I was like, no, you knew he put that motherfucker on and knew he was going to say that fuck him shit. Like, it was like, it's time to be a badass. Let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was some bullshit. And what killed me was like, the CEO for advertising was like, right there. She was in attendance. Like, bro, like she needs to update that LinkedIn because you about to be the next fall guy. If she doesn't see the writing on the wall, she's not being serious with herself. But yeah, he's just a weak, fragile, insecure little man. And it sounds like this, you see the cracks where he knows that like everyone on Twitter just clowning him relentlessly all fucking day, every day is kind of getting to him perhaps.
Yeah. The name of his CEO, the CEO for Twitter, if you don't know, by the way, is Linda Yaccarino, which is, speaking of Launchpad McQuack, is the most Animaniacs ass shit.
That is an Animaniacs ass name. Goddamn. Yaccarino.
All right, that's all the time. We're going to end on Yaccarino. That's all the time we got for today. We will be back on Thursday for our next regular episode talking about the NBA in-season tournament. And then we'll have our usual episode on Saturday as well. We will see y'all then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.